Hello, my name is Edwin Kelley. I'm an instructor with Tergar, and I've been asked to say something or share a little anecdote from the early days of Tergar when we first started. I had the great fortune to meet Mingyur Rinpoche in 1998 and then be invited by him to help set up Tergar in 2009. We attended some teachings that he gave in Bodh that year in India, and during that time he invited a bunch of his senior students to come together, and he articulated his vision for what he wanted Tergar to be, and then asked some of us to go back to the West and get it set up. So I went back to Minneapolis, I was living in Massachusetts. I went back to Massachusetts, and Mioshin and I then decided we should move to Minneapolis, where Colin was living. And I moved over there in July of 2009. And the first big task we had was to arrange for Mingyur Rinpoche's teaching tour and visit to Europe and the United States and South America in May, June of 2010. And so I had the enviable task of putting that schedule all together, his visas, his travel, organizing with all the various locations where he would go, what he would do, the timeline, the schedule, which was always very complicated. And I started doing it as soon as I got to Minneapolis and worked away as hard as I could. He was going to go to a lot of places, so it was really, really exciting. And one of the key things that we were doing, he was going to do, was he was going to teach like a month-long program just outside Minneapolis, the first big programs for Tergar. He was also teaching in Phoenix, in the Bay Area, in New York, Portland, Oregon. I don't know where else. I think in Brazil, in Europe, in places. So it was a lot to organize. Anyway, some months into this process, all out of the blue, I got a phone call from Mingyur Rinpoche, which happened occasionally, but not a lot. And I was wondering what he was calling me for. What did he want to know? What was it that he needed to tell me? Anyway, a little bit into the phone call, I realized he was really just calling up to find out how I was doing. How's it going? Which was very sweet, that he kind of cared. I don't know whether somebody had told him I was struggling, possibly. But anyway, I proceeded to tell him, Mingyur Rinpoche, it is incredible. We're doing this retreat and, so many people are interested. People are already registering. We got so many people, we have to create another program, which we're able to do. It's going really well. I'm really excited about so many people being able to get to see you, hear your teachings. Sometimes it's, my days are like this. And then another day it's like, this program when I'm trying to organize in New York City, there's problems with the venue, there's problems with this and there's problems with that. And some days I think, this is never going to happen. And I get really kind of, stressed out about trying to make it happen. Anyway, I'm explaining all this to him. And then all of a sudden he just burst out laughing, like, had a really good chuckle. And I think, well, what did I say? What happened, And I paused, and he's laughing his head off, and then he said one word. And this one word was like one of the most amazing pith instructions I ever received. All he said was samsara. And I was like, wow, yes, in this round, this thing we call samsara, sometimes you're on the upswing and sometimes you're on the downswing. Sometimes things work and sometimes things don't work. And in that exercise of me sharing with him what was going on for me, the struggles I was having, but the joys and the struggles, he just shared this one pith instruction with me that blew my mind. And I've never forgotten that. Invariably, when things are going up and down, I think of that teaching from Rinpoche and am extremely, extremely grateful for the guidance that he has given me. So that was part of the early days of Tergar.